चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः स्वधाहमहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम् अहमग्निरहं हुतम् पिताहमस्य जगतः माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कारः ऋक्सामयजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानम् निधानं बीजमव्ययम् म्यहमहं वर्षं निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसच्च.
Hari Om everybody. We will start with Achyutastakam. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Harim Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje Vishnave Jishnave Shankine Chakrine Rukmini Ragini Janaki Janaye Vallavi Vallabhayarchitayatmane Kamsave Dhvamsine Vamshite Te Namaha Krishna Govinda He Ramana Rayana Shripate Vasudevarchita Srinidhe Achyutananda He Madhava Dokshaja Dwaraka Nayaka Draupadi Rakshaka Rakshasa Kshobhitah Sitaya Shobhito Dandakaranya Bhu Punyata Karanaha Lakshmanenanvito Vanarai Sevitaha Agastya Sampujito Raghava Patumam Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Harim Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vagishadya Sumanasah Sarvarthanam Yam Natva Krutakritya Syuhu Tam Namami Gajananam. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupine Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Shakte Pautramakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatam Taponidhim. Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Sadgurum Tam Namami. We will just do the first and the last of the Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् यस्य सन्निधिमात्रेण सर्वे शिष्याश्च सेवकाः कर्मक्षेत्रे प्रवर्तन्ते चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् Hari Om everybody. There was one question from last week. I'll take the first few minutes to address that question. I hope that person who asked the question, she is present in the audience. She asked me, please explain what is mamata to samata to purnata from your prior lectures. Let me start off with this. You know, all living beings from a single-celled amoeba to a multicellular organism to a highly evolved human being, all of us are in pursuit of happiness. In all the worldly pursuits, in order to eke out a momentary happiness, what we do, we seek happiness outside. All desire fulfilling actions for my sake, me, for my family. This phase in seeker's journey is mamata. Mama is the centerpiece. What we do in order to do that, we change the place. Desha, one place to the other. We change time, kala. We wait for better times to come. We change objects, vastu. And we change vyakti, relationship, people. This is a typical paristhiti-vadi. He or she has not yet realized, he's tried to change the paristhiti, but has not changed the manasthiti. 99% of all human population engages in artha and kama, but very few engage in dharmic actions. Upon deeper inquiry, the seeker begins to explore, becomes a karmavadi. The next step in seeker's journey, he begins to ask the question, why am I here? Who am I? During this process, he or she realizes that all worldly pursuits have a beginning and an end, Adi and Anta, and are all finite. They dissipate one's energy. There is a sense of limitation or finitude. They're all riddled with pain. It leaves a sense of incompleteness at the end. So in this pursuit of Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti and Paramananda Prapti, removal of sorrow and attaining happiness, what he or she does, realizes that in his or her inquiry, that the root cause of the problem is the erroneous notion that I am the limited being. But the desire to pursue happiness persists. Everything in this creation is in a state of agitation until it reaches its natural state. For example, if water is heated and frozen, it is in a state of flux until it reaches the room temperature or its natural state. In order to pursue moksha or liberation from the cycle of births and deaths called samsara, no pursuit of finite objects or situation gives me infinitude. So the only solution or cure for my chronic disease of ignorance is the knowledge of the true self. So at this phase, the seeker reaches samatha in his life with this knowledge. Equanimity, equipoise. That is the phase the seeker is in after getting this knowledge of the self. Only Upanishads or Vedanta, which deals with this subject matter of the study of the self, gives me that liberation. The goal from Manava to Madhava, from Bandha to Buddha, is possible only through Vedanta. Now the seeker has become the sought. This is Purnata. So from Mamata to Samata to Purnata. I hope that clarifies your question. So just to recap, getting back to our lectures, in the last 4 lectures, what have we done? We have seen Arjuna's delusion, to grief management, to Atma Gnana. We saw the problems of human beings is ignorance of our true nature. So the solution given by Bhagavan was self-knowledge. He showed us that the path of karma brings chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. With purity of mind comes the clarity of knowledge. We saw the doctrine of Nishkama Karma Yoga. It's a special contribution of Bhagavad Gita to the Indian philosophical thought, especially the concept of Swadharma, Loka Sangraha, meaning to do your duties for the benefit of all. We saw some leadership qualities. We looked at how a man of realization lives in this world as a benchmark for our progress on this journey. We looked at the 3 gunas, how to be efficient in our actions. We looked at Varnashrama Dharma, that the classification is based on guna and karma, not janma karma vibhagashaha. We looked at some important shlokas on the Gnana Marga, the concept of avatara, how Lord will side with dharma, how to approach a guru for higher knowledge, and that knowledge of the self is the best purifier. So in the last lecture, we went through whether we choose karma yoga or karma sannyasa, how it provides a bridge to the tower of knowledge. We learned that karma is a sahakari sadhana. We need to lose our doership, kartrutva, and become a karana, an instrument of action. Nothing but goodness flows through us to the world around us when that happens. Then we saw the concept on control of mind with an overview of the meditation techniques, ample amount of guidance and direction as to how to seek the highest through meditation, dhyana yoga. We completed with that the Tvampada Vichara up to 6th chapter. Then what we did, we changed our channel and started the Tatpada Vichara. We looked at the unholy matrimony of matter and spirit, from gnana to vijnana, from information to insight on the primordial. And we also looked at the types of bhaktas and the rarity of a gnani bhakta. So today we will start with the 8th chapter. It begins with Arjuna's questions. Arjuna says, Kim tad brahma? Kim adhyatmam? Kim karma? Adhibhutam kim? Adhidhaivam? Adhiyagnaha katam? Prayana kalecha katham gneyosi niyatatmabihi. He starts with Kim tad brahma. The word tat indicates that this has been discussed before. In the 3rd chapter, Brahmakshara samudbhavam. In 4-24, he said, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. So the answer here is Shri Bhagavanuvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavodhyatmamuchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaraha Visarga Karma Sangitaha. In 8-3, the word Brahman means the big. Bruhatvat iti Brahma, that which is unconditioned, that which is infinite, that which is Akshara, imperishable. Everything in this world is in a state of flux and continuous change. That changeless substratum for the entire world of change is supreme, imperishable truth, Brahma Paramam. So even the alphabet letter, we call it Akshara. It has a deeper significance. These letter symbols represent a sound. If you analyze, the sound disappears into silence. That silence is the substratum of all sounds. So when we do Aksharabhyasa for little children in India, what we say, we initiate the children to write Om, the universal symbol of God. Om iti Brahma, the Akshara Brahma. Then Arjuna asks, Kim adhyatmam? Swabhavaha adhyatmam uchyate. That which is our true nature, that self-evident swabhava, is Adhyatma, that pure existence, that Atman, that infinite self. Then he asks, Kim karma? Bhuta bhava udbhavakaraha visargaha karma sangitaha. Although we know the meanings of karma as action, fate, effort, etc., Bhagavan reveals some new meanings here. Karma is udbhavakaraha, creative, that which brings about prosperity, that which brings about new into existence, that which involves giving up our lower tendency, visargaha, to invoke the higher in the yajna spirit. Then the fourth question, what is adhibhuta? Adhibhutam cha kim? Ksharo bhavaha. That which perishes, that which gets destroyed, that which is temporary. See the structure in thinking here. What is adhiyagna? Adhiyagnam ahameva. Bhagavan says you might worship me by different names. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. Then comes the seventh question. Kotra dehismin madhusudana. Who is in this deha? Ahameva atra dehe. That indweller is me. Then in the eighth question, which is the central theme of this chapter, prayana kale cha katham gneyosi. How does one know when you departs this world? How does he know you? Bhagavan says, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. In 8-5, typically in Hindu tradition, family members, what we do, we put a drop of Ganga, we put a Tulsi leaf before the person dies to bring that thought of God at the time of departure. Here, Bhagavan says, whatever is the predominant thought pattern at the time of death, that determines the place of rebirth as well as the type of rebirth in 8-6. But we know there are two things that are certain in life: death and taxes. We should also remember, we know tax deadline used to be April 15th. That year, that also has become uncertain. Similarly, antakale, the notice, there is a cha there, antakale cha. We don't know when that comes. Therefore, the advice of the Lord is tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. In 8-7, he says, always remember God, even when we do our duties. Human mind is restless and fickle. Even if we remember God all our lives, the circumstances surrounding death, we may forget to remember God at the crucial time. Such fears will not happen if we remember him all the time. Therefore, Bhagavan himself takes the responsibility. In the 10th chapter, 10-10, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. I will give you that thought in your mind at the time of death. So this assurance is that Mayarpita Mano Buddhihi Mame Vaishyasya Samshayam. Put your mind and intellect in me. You shall undoubtedly reach me. Omityekaksharam Brahma Vyavharan Mamanusmaran Yah Prayatityajam Deham Sayati Paramam Gatim. The repetition of the syllable Om Just by mere doing that, he will not come back into this mundane existence. A similar theme of Pranava mantra is expressed in Taittiriya Upanishad, Om iti Brahma, Om iti Dagum Sarvam. That Pranava Pratika that stands for A, U, and Ma stands for that Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. When we do this type of dhyana, it is not the akshara, it is not the sound, it is not your melodious voice that matters, it is the bhava with which our mind abides. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabhav partha nityayuktasya yoginah. For a person who is sincerely committed to the practice of meditation of God, whose devotion is undivided, God is easily attainable. This is Bhagavan's promise. So Bhagavan's advice in this chapter is to live a life centered in God. Continuing on the theme of knowledge, Jnana to Vijnana from the 7th chapter, in the 9th chapter also, Bhagavan re-emphasizes the importance and the glory of self-knowledge. Just to reiterate the point, I had mentioned that in my 3rd lecture. Bhagavan starts us off with Idam tute guhyatamam. This knowledge is the foundation of all knowledge. Sarva Vidya Pratishtita. In the 9th chapter, he starts us off. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyakshyavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam. He glorifies that Atma Gnana has 8 feathers. Number 1, Raja Vidya, Rajanam Vidya. It is the king of all knowledge. Raja Guhyam. This knowledge is a royal secret. Pavitram. Pavayati iti pavitram. It is the holiest. It is sacred. Uttamam. It is the best. Pratyakshyavagamam. It can be realized directly. Anubhava. It is Gnana Vijnana Sahitam. It is not just theory, but it has application. Dharmyam. It is the Shastra on the side of Dharma. This knowledge integrates us. It has no conflict with anyone. Susukam Kartum. It is easily available. It is effortless. Avyayam. Generally, what comes effortless is also lost easily. However, this self is eternal. So the result of self-knowledge is also eternal. Once you get this, there is no going back. It is a point of no return. Our Puja Gurudev used to say, it is like a one-way street with no exits. It is a permanent, irreversible process. Then Lord drives this point again. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshva vastitah nacha matstani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram bhuta brunnacha bhutastah mamatma bhuta bhavanaha. In these two shlokas, Bhagavan gives his relation with the creation. A lot of analysis can be done on the 7 elements of these shlokas, but since the topic of our discussion is the summary, the essence, I will outline 4 statements. 1. I pervade this entire world in my unmanifest form. The whole world and all beings are in me, but I am not in them, and they are not in me. Even in the last lecture, Sutre Manigana Iva, in the 7th chapter, that the entire world is an effect of God. And God is the ultimate cause of this entire creation. In the cause, there are no effects. The effect exists in the cause. For example, gold. Gold pervades all ornaments like earring, nose ring, bangles, necklace, you name it. They all exist in gold. But gold does not depend on the ornaments for its existence. Meaning, in gold, there are no ornaments. Similarly, in creation, what is objectified is called the world. God pervades his creation as existence. The entire world exists in God and is dependent on God. But God is unaffected and has independent existence outside of the world. Pashyame yogamaishwaram. In this, Bhagavan says how my divine power Maya works. See my divine nature created by Maya and company. That brings us to our Vedantic aspect of Maya. Maya is of the nature of 3 gunas. Trigunatmika Maya. Its existence depends on Brahman. It has no independent existence. It is Brahma Ashrita, Brahma Ashraya. Maya in Vedanta is Yama Sa Maya, that which is not, but yet it appears to be. There are 2 classic examples we use in Vedanta to explain this. One of them I'm going to use, which is the rope and the snake. I hope you can see both in the picture. In the rope snake example, a traveler in the twilight steps on a rope and mistakes it for a snake. He's frightened until a wise man comes and sheds some light on it and shows that it is only a rope. I hope all of you can see the rope. So in this example, we can see that the world is like that snake. It has no independent existence outside of the rope. How does God create this world? He says, Maya dyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetuna nena kaunteya jagadviparivartate. 9-10. Here, the Lord is saying that in my presence, karma dyakshena, maya dyakshena, that in my presence, Prakriti creates the world of things and beings. In 9-12, Bhagavan gives us a list of people, how they are deluded. Mogasha, moga karmanaha, moga gnana vicetasaha, rakshasim asurim chaiva, prakritim mohinim shritaha. Lord Krishna says these are deluded people. You know why? Because they are expecting lasting happiness from changing things. People are doing mogha karma by wasteful activity, by acquiring mogha gnana, useless knowledge, vichetasaha, wrong thinking. So when false hopes prompt hopeful actions strengthened by useless knowledge, it creates wrong thinking. That's what Bhagavan is saying. And they lead demonic lives and harm others. In fact, this shloka is the seed for 16th chapter, Asuri Sampatti. So in this world, everyone wants to be happy. Life on earth has both joys and sorrows, sukham and dukkham. The scriptures of all religions talk about heaven, which is in the higher realms, with all forms of pleasures, but no pain. With the aim to feast in heaven, some people fast here. They do all sorts of vratam to experience the results of punya karma. What we do, we assume celestial bodies and enjoy the pleasures that they have paid on earth. What Bhagavan says in 9-21, Kshine Punye Matsya Lokam Vishanti. Once our merit card that is obtained by our punya karmas are exhausted, we must return from heaven to earth to continue our journey. This clearly shows that finite actions give finite results. Earthly joys are sorrow ridden. Heavenly bliss is short lived. Both have anxiety of getting and retaining. But in verse 9-22, it is like the centerpiece in an exhibition of masterpieces. It is like that central jewel of a studded pendant in a priceless necklace. In this center of that priceless Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna reveals the secret of living right here and now and always. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate yesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Here, the Lord is promising that if we dedicate our lives to Him, God will take care of all our need, not greed, our need. He says He takes care of our yoga, all that you need and that you do not have, and kshema, to protect what you already have. One time, one devotee asked our Puja Gurudev, I hear that God provided food for all great saints who went for deep penance in the deep forests. If I go to the forest, will God give me food? He asked our Gurudev. And our Puja Gurudev immediately replied, no, because you are going for food, not for God. If you take a look at our lives, we are always spending time worrying about what we do not have. That's called as yoga. And maintaining and protecting what we have. That is called as kshema. It is not the work that tires us, but the loads of worry that we carry with us. There are two words in Sanskrit. One is called chitta. Chitta is the firewood that we use to burn the body after death. But chinta very close cousin that burns one alive. One who knows Lord provides, that Lord himself provides, does not worry. He enjoys all he has got. Being connected, he lives a life of contentment. God does not see what we offer, but with what feelings we offer. When the devotee offers with a feeling that I offer you with love, what truly belongs to you anyway, please accept it as my token of love. Tera tujhko arpan, kya lage mera? Be it a leaf, be it a fruit, be it just plain water. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati. If that is the case, if Lord is pleased with these small gestures, imagine the result of all actions if we surrender to Him. Yat karoshi yadashnasi, yajjuhoshi dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. The Lord promises that my devotee never perishes. Name bhaktaha pranashyati. And the final assurance from Bhagavan in the 9th chapter is, if you think of me, manmana, put your heart in me, mad bhakta. Consider nothing to be greater than me, mat parayana, and are ready to do anything for me, mad yaji, and dedicate all to me, mam namaskuru. Then you will attain me. Connecting the very thought expressed in the 7th chapter, now Bhagavan Krishna is expanding on how we can know his true nature, his wondrous and special manifestations in creation, his vibhuti. You know, we have plain water. It is colorless, it is tasteless, it is a liquid in hundreds of drinks. Then you add a pinch of salt, a little lime, and make it like a sharbat. That is vibhuti, a tasty juice. Similarly, the essence is yoga, and the special manifestation is vibhuti. In this chapter 10, Arjuna is asking for us as to how we can constantly keep in touch with the eternal truth. He is the essence in this world of plurality. Now the Lord is taking us on a tour of creation in the 10th chapter. As a divine tour guide, Bhagavan Krishna, what he does, first he introduces himself, that even the great sages, the celestial beings, do not know him. They know only few aspects of him. He says the 7 sages, the 4 Manus, have all originated from him. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. 10-10 Teshamevanukampartam ahamajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavastaha jnanadipena bhasvata. The above 2 shlokas, Bhagavan gives a promise that those who are steadfast in devotion to him, he gives them buddhi yoga, the knowledge of the self by which they come to me. That is what is his promise. Being seated in the hearts of all, the Lord removes the darkness of ignorance by lighting that lamp of knowledge. Gnana Deepena Bhaswata. Then Bhagavan Krishna takes the blessed tourists on a divine tour of manifestation in the 10th chapter. From verses 21 through 38, he enumerates a total of 75 vibhutis of the Lord. In the interest of time, I will give you one or two, three pointers, but the main idea in these 75 thoughts is that it helps the seeker who are on the path of knowledge to meditate upon, to intensify their integration with the Lord. The Lord says, amongst the senses, I am the mind. Amongst the living beings, I am the intelligence. Amongst the secrets, I am silence. Some glories from the nature. I am the Himalayas, the snow-capped spectacle. I am the sun and the moon amongst luminaries. I am that shoreless ocean. All of it we can see right here. Amongst the glories from the Vedas and the Puranas, I am Indra. I am his thunderbolt, Vajra, amongst the weapons. I am Skanda amongst the divine general. Amongst the musical scriptures, I am Samaveda. Among meters, I am Gayatri Mantra, Anustup Chanda. We had already discussed how he is Arjuna amongst Pandavas, right in the first lecture, and Vyasa amongst Munis. I had suggested that the idea, if you see, Bhagavad Gita is in essence given for our sake. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjayah Muninamapyaham Vyasah Kavina Ushana Kavihi. Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Arjuna, the son of Prutu, son of earth, represents all of us. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. Vyasa, who is the author of Mahabharata, is also Lord Vishnu. And I had already mentioned, when the composer is divine, when the teacher is divine, when the listener is divine, there is nothing but divinity that and its manifestation that flows out of it. Whenever you see all that is mighty, wondrous, spectacular, when it is grand, majestic, beautiful, when it is awe-inspiring, glorious, you see that as a divine manifestation. Even here in North America, when we go to Niagara Falls or a Grand Canyon, you think of that divine manifestation. The idea here is to recognize God's manifestation in these so that we train our mind to see Him in everything and everyone and everywhere. In fact, He is the essence of all that is good. Amongst the Maharshis, He says, I am Bhrugu. Since we are doing this at the Lord Venkateshwara temple in Novi, let me tell you the glory of Bhagavan Vishnu. Quick story. Once all the sages wanted to know and ascertain who amongst the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, were the greatest. Just a Puranic story, okay? Sage Bhrugu was sent out to do the test. He manages to somehow get Brahmaji and Maheshwara angry. Then he goes to Lord Vishnu in Vaikunta. The Lord was with his consort, goddess Lakshmi. Bhrigu didn't even care. He just goes right in, kicks him right on the chest, right in the presence of goddess Lakshmi. Everyone was stunned in silence at such unheard of behavior, unseen behavior, especially from a sadhu. But Lord Vishnu calmly gets up and says, "Oh, my chest is so hard, Maharshi ji. Please forgive me for that. I must have hurt your soft feet." The Lord still carries a sign of sage Bhrigu's foot on his chest as a reminder. Such was the audacity of sage Bhrigu and the greatness of Lord Vishnu. And Bhagavan then says, amongst the knowledge of all knowledge, I am Adhyatma Vidya, the ultimate of all knowledge. You know, it is impossible, even when you go on a tour, to cover all aspects of the tour. I suggest you study the 10th chapter to go through his matchless manifestations, his vibhutis. After getting a tour in the 10th chapter, it provides enough data to prove that self is the substratum for the world of plurality. Now Arjuna is curious. His curiosity is aroused. He requests the Lord to show his divine form. You know, kids, when they are young, they always ask, tell me why, right? When they're very young. And somehow, I don't know what happens to them when they become teenagers. They say, why tell me? Why tell me? They say. And the same person, when he gets old, tell me why me? Tell me why me? Same play of words here. In summarizing in the 11th chapter, beginning in 11-1 and 2, Arjuna says the spiritual knowledge, adhyatma, spoken in chapters 2 through 6, removes our delusion on our identity, on our duty. The essence of knowledge, guhya, given in chapter 7 through 9, removes our doubts about creation and its essential source. Then in chapter 10, Paramam answers the question on the divine and his eternal glories. The Lord had shown earlier Pashyame Yogamaishwaram. In 9-5, here Arjuna wants to see the entire cosmic form all at once. Drashtum ichchami te rupam Aishwaryam Purushottama. Aishwaram Purushottama. Then the Lord says, Divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogam aishwaram. I give you divine vision so that you can see my Vishwarupa. What is this divine vision? Is it special sight or is it insight? You know, we see a regular movie with our normal eyes. We go to IMAX or 3D. We do need special glasses to feel and experience, especially if it is like a Star Wars. We need to see the flying saucer or its special effects. So here also Bhagavan not only gave Arjuna a divine vision, he gave him special knowledge. He gave him insight to appreciate the enormity of the cosmic vision. If you remember the Mahabharata story, sage Vedavyasa had given this to Sanjaya. This special correspondent, a close confidant of Dhritarashtra, his charioteer, so that he could not only report what he saw, but also what he heard. He was like an embedded reporter in the war zone. He also could see the cosmic vision. Some say, ants have 2D vision. They wonder at humans who have 3D vision. Some scientists, they say there are 7 or more dimensions in our experience. Imagine Arjuna's plight at this multi-dimensional experience of the cosmic vision of the Lord. Arjuna was wonderstruck. He starts to chant about 17 verses that give the description of that Vishwarupa Darshana. I will chant only 3 of them. Aneka Vaktra Nayanam, Anekadbhuta Darshanam, Aneka Divya Bharanam, Divyanekodyatayudham, Divyamalyambaradaram, Divyagandhanulepanam, Sarvascharyamayam Devam, Anantam Vishwatomukam, Divi Surya Sahasrasya, Bhavedyugapaduttita, Yadibas Sadrushi Sasyat, Vasastasya Mahatmanah. Arjuna describes this Adbhuta. Countless beings and countless worlds. He even sees Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya dying with countless others. Arjuna realizes that Krishna, who he had taken very lightly, joked with him during moments of his friendship, realizes he is no ordinary person. He apologizes. Saketi matva prasabham yaduktam. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi. Bhagavan Krishna in 11-33 then tells Arjuna, Tasmat Vuttishta Yasho Labhastva Jitva Shatrun Bhungshva Rajyam Samruddham. Mayaivaite Nihata Purvameva Nimittamatram Bhavasavya. Therefore, Arjuna, just fulfill your role in this battle of life. Become an instrument. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. Then there is this beautiful prayer of Arjuna from 11-36 to 11-46. With heartfelt reverence, Arjuna bows down to Bhagavan again and again. Our Guruji says this is Chamatkar se Namaskar. He is fearful. Bhiti se Preeti. He prays to the Lord, but in conclusion, Bhagavan says, Mat karma krut mat paramaha, mad bhakta sanga varjitaha, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu, yasamameti pandava. Here Bhagavan gives a 5-point plan. Consider God alone as supreme goal. Mat paramaha. Remember, we have to move away from having infinite goals in life and make infinity as our only goal. Number 2, wholehearted love for God in every possible way. Mad bhaktaha. Don't read it as mad bhakta, although it makes sense. It is good to be mad about him. Serve him alone, enthusiastically, through all your actions. That is, mat karma krita. Who is free from all attachment, sanga varjitaha. Then he becomes, there is no like, no dislike, no raga, no dvesha, no hatred to anyone. Nirvairaha. He is devoted, he is devoid of the sense of enmity to all. This is a beautiful 5-point plan in the 11th chapter. This is the touchstone message of Bhagavad Gita, to know that the quality of realization and intensity depends on our personal sadhana. So, just a key takeaway, we learned in the 8th chapter what it takes to attain the Lord, how by changing the way we think we can attain Him. Continuing the theme of knowledge, Gnana to Vijnana, in the 9th chapter, Bhagavan re-emphasizes the importance, the glory of self-knowledge. This self-knowledge is the foundation for all other knowledge. Sarva Vidya Pratishtita. In the 10th chapter, we went through that divine tool of his Vibhuti. The self is the essence in this world of plurality. While the 10th chapter provided all the data that we need to say that self is the substratum of the world, the 11th chapter provided a practical demo of the Lord's cosmic form. Next week, we will enter the path of devotion, Bhakti Yoga. We will say the concluding prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaha Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you, everyone.